everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Creative Juggle Joy podcast. I'm Kaylie Edwards, your host for today, and I'm here with my lovely co-host Delores Naskrent. Today we're talking about something that every creative has to face: marketing. If you're new to marketing or just getting started with your creative business, it can feel a bit overwhelming, right? I remember when I first started trying to market my handmade candles, I felt completely lost. There were so many different channels to try and so many options: social media, email marketing, giveaways, collaborations. I had no clue where to start.
Oh, yes. I totally hear you, Kaylie. I mean, the word just gives me just like stress, but it can feel, when you're first starting out, like such a huge challenge, especially when you're trying to juggle the actual work that you're doing, your family, other commitments, work. Yeah, for me, it was also work. It can seem like there's this endless list of things that you're supposed to be doing. But the truth is, marketing doesn't have to be expensive or overwhelming. In fact, today, we're going to focus on sharing budget-friendly and simple strategies that anyone can start using to market their creative work. Whether you're just getting started or you're someone who's been at it for a while but on a tight budget, there's something here for you today, I'm sure.
Yes, we know how it feels to start with limited resources, and that's exactly why we want to talk about strategies that work without breaking the bank. So let's dive in.
Perfect.
Right, into some budget-friendly marketing strategies that really work without spending much. The first strategy I want to talk about is building a personal brand. Having a personal brand is one of the most powerful marketing tools you can have. People want to buy from people they trust, and building a personal connection with your audience is essential, especially when you are a small business or someone just getting started. When I started focusing on branding my business around who I truly am, what I believe in, my story and my values, that's when things really started clicking.
Yeah.
For me, sharing more of my personal journey through the podcast, digital products, Instagram posts and emails helped me create a more authentic connection with my audience. I'd love to hear your take on this, Delores. How has building your personal brand helped you connect with your audience?
Well, I think it's exactly like what you just said. I think that building a personal brand does exactly what it should. It makes you visible. People see you, and in a way that starts to build trust. That trust is the gold, because it's what leads people to connect with you on a deeper level. My personal audience knows they can rely on me for quality content and unique ideas, genuine support, because I try to show up as my authentic self in everything I do. Whether it's a blog post, an email, or a podcast episode like this one, I think people can really tell when you're being real. And I really think that authenticity makes all the difference.
Exactly, and it's so true. When you're being authentic and real, it resonates with people. Now, the next strategy that has worked really well for both me and Delores is collaborations and cross-promotions. So when you team up with other creatives, especially those who already have an audience that aligns with yours, you can reach so many more people. For example, if you're a digital artist, collaborating with someone in a related field, like a stationery shop or a planner maker, can give you access to an entirely new group of potential customers. Have you done any collaborations or cross promotions that you think worked really well?
As a matter of fact, I have. Collaborating with Lasercraft Fest was something that I did recently. It was a real highlight. It brought in so many new people who now follow my work. They're following me on Instagram, and they've even signed up for some classes, which is really cool. I think that the key is finding partnerships that really align with your own brand and audience. In this case, it was a mixed group of people, and one of my specialties is Adobe Illustrator. And in this case, I was working with someone who teaches Adobe Illustrator, and the collaboration wasn't just about working with anyone. It was about making that partnership feel natural and beneficial for both sides. So the people that we were talking to could see her side and my side of it, and we could work together on something like that. And it was really, really great. When the right collaboration happens, it just doesn't grow your visibility. It really helps to start growing your community. So that was really neat.
Yes, that's so great, and I loved seeing how that unfolded when you did that up in, it was September, wasn't it? September 2024.
I did one more.
Oh
recently
yeah, you
too.
did with
I
Bale,
did the one in
yeah.
September, and then I did the one I did most recently. I actually, you'll be so proud of me. I hooked up my iPad and I demonstrated.
Yay.
So it was great. Yeah, it was fun.
That's so great. Yes. Collaborations are definitely a great way to expand your reach, especially when you're just starting out. That is the best way to do it quickly as well, is finding collaborations and leveraging other people's audiences. That will help you grow faster, and it will help you grow a lot faster than social media. That's for sure. And the third strategy I want to share is hosting giveaways and contests. So giveaways can be a fantastic way to engage with your audience and grow your email list, even on a super tight budget. Whether you're offering a free digital download bundle, free access to a course, physical product, or just fun shout out, giveaways can get people talking about your work. I did my first Instagram giveaway a few years ago offering a free candle bundle, and the engagement I got from it was amazing. I gained new followers, got tons of comments, and increased my visibility without paying for ads.
That's great.
And yeah, it happened super fast and really great. I know you've run a few giveaways in the past, Delores. How has that worked out for you?
Fantastic. I mean, really fantastic. It's a great way to grow your audience and create buzz. I, like right now, am just working on my 5-card challenge, and I love offering all the free, but like digital products, brush sets, because they're valuable to my audience, but they actually don't cost me too much to give away. You know, they're digital. It costs my time to have created them, but they're just great to do. And these giveaways just don't grow your numbers. They invite the right kind of people into your world. So that's the important thing, is you want to get people who are interested in your products. They're a great way to lead in for converting people into students or customers, because they get a taste of what you offer. For anyone considering a giveaway, my advice is to offer something that truly resonates with your audience and ties in directly to your expertise. So with that recent collaboration I did, I had people who are Procreate users, and the person I collaborated with doesn't do Procreate. So what I was demonstrating is creating files in Procreate and then converting them for use in vector-based programs. And so there's a whole audience of Procreate users there that I could tap into.
Yes, that is a fantastic way of doing it. And you can, if you can create something super valuable and people can see that it's valuable, then like, oh, if they're giving away this for free, what's their paid stuff like? You know, and it's just, yeah, it's such a great way to bring people in. I know some people are worried that they're just going to get freebie seekers all the time, but yes, you will get some of them. But I guarantee you will find people that want to carry on with you if they resonate with you and what you do. Yeah. Let's talk about how low-cost digital marketing tools can help streamline your efforts. These tools don't need to cost a fortune, and some are even free to start with. Leveraging free social media platforms. So social media doesn't have to be expensive to be effective. Platforms like Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook are perfect for creative businesses. Even the newer platforms like Threads is becoming popular with creatives. I've seen a lot of growth for some creatives on there, and it's just because they're consistently on there and they're consistently providing value. The key is to focus on one or two platforms that make the most sense for your product and where your audience hangs out. What's your take on choosing the right platform, Delores? How do you figure out where to focus your marketing efforts?
For me, it's about meeting my audience where they already are. So if you're trying to sell highly visual work like digital art or crafts or anything creative, I think for me, anyways, Instagram and Pinterest are no-brainers because they spotlight your visuals so well. I love to use email marketing, especially now that you're doing it, Kaylie, because it gives me a direct channel to connect with those people who've already shown interest. The key is really not to spread yourself thin. Choose one or two platforms and focus on those two and build from there. It took me, honestly, years to realize I don't have to try to do everything to build this particular type of business and to thrive. For me, it was narrowing down my focus. That was everything. I just really needed to focus on the two programs the two platforms that I use, which are Instagram and Pinterest. So that's mainly where I advertise, as you know.
Yeah, yeah, great points. Yeah, you've got to focus your energy in where areas that you know are going to work. There's no point jumping on like the likes of TikTok if you're not going to work it properly. If you're trying to do Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and you want to do Threads as well because it's a new platform, then you are going to spread yourself too thin. And it's not good for you and it's not good for your audience because you can't be consistent on it. For me, I really believe in the power of platforms like Instagram and Pinterest for visual products because Reels and carousels, Pinterest pins can help you get your products in front of new non-following audiences for free. I know Instagram at the moment is pushing a lot for carousels and especially for Reels as well because that was kind of their goal, is to get Reels in front of new people, and they're doing the same now with carousels. And what you want to do is for your stories, that's where you want to connect with the audience that you already have, the followers that you already have, and you can then sell within your stories. That's a good way to connect with your followers are already there and selling to them that way. You can also do it in Reels, obviously, and in carousels, but that's where you kind of want to do your main focus. Now, if you want to start building a more direct relationship with your audience, obviously, email marketing, low-cost tools.
Right.
So email marketing can be one of the most cost-effective ways to build a lasting connection with your audience. Platforms like MailerLite, Email Octopus offer free plans, and they're perfect for starting an email list without spending a penny. We've done a lot with email marketing, Delores.
Yes.
What's one tip you would give someone just starting with email lists?
This has been a topic of conversation a lot in the groups that I'm with. And I think it really just boils down to starting simple as possible, and think of your emails like a conversation with your audience. You don't need to have a fancy setup or a huge subscriber list to begin. Most of the people I've been talking to are really just starting out. My biggest tip is to try to work on your consistency. So if you decide it's weekly or bi-weekly, make sure you show up all the time, regularly. You can choose to do it once a month, but just be there. Also, I think providing value before you ask for anything is really important. And actually, that's something you taught me, Kaylie. Yeah. I love giving away free digital downloads or sharing behind-the-scenes tips because it shows I care about their success, not just their sales. I mean, really, the bottom line as a teacher is I want them to be successful. Over time, that builds trust, and trust converts. Gosh, I never thought I'd ever hear myself say those words. Conversion.
Oh, it must be sinking in for me.
Yes.
It's like when I got that email from you about what's your conversion rate for something, and I was like, she's actually asked me that. Oh, that's new. Oh, yes, but yeah, email marketing is great. And if you are just starting off, I have resources and things for doing for email marketing. I have a free challenge for getting started with your email marketing. So please go find my website and find my everything page, and the link will be on there.
Yeah.
And if you want further support, I have a new membership which has all my email marketing stuff. I actually have a new workshop coming out next month for Email Marketing 101. So if you want to join that. All right, now let's dive into some more budget-friendly marketing tactics that really work,
Okay.
even for beginners. Blogging, YouTube, or podcasting. And these are core ones that you can use and repurpose everywhere else. So starting a blog, YouTube channel, or podcast is a fantastic way to promote your work without spending a lot of money. It's a great way to share your story, talk about your process, promote your products naturally, talk about relevant topics to your audience, and show how you do your creating. We've used our podcast to talk about everything from our creative journeys to marketing tips, and it's helped us both connect with our audience on a deeper level.
Mm-hmm.
Delores, you have a YouTube channel and use Instagram and Pinterest. How has that worked for you in the terms of marketing your business?
It's been incredible for building a broader reach for my work. YouTube has been great for connecting with people who are visual learners, like I am, especially those who appreciate techniques and tutorials. I know I could and should do more there, and I just, it's just for lack of time that I don't. Instagram is where I share snippets of my creative process and lots of finished work, which helps me to draw in more kind of immediate visual audiences. And of course, I talk about my classes and products that I create. And then Pinterest, it's great because it's a long-term thing. That's where I focus lots of those things that I want to have, available for people, but they can see them at any time. 5 years from now, 5 years ago, it doesn't matter. Those pins are there for forever. So there's been a lot of connection through that. I focus a lot on it, honestly. I've actually just hired someone on contract to really build that out for me. And she even says, it's a long process, but if you're consistent, that all of the things you put together, including your Instagram and your maybe YouTube channel or your membership or whatever it is that you're working on, all those things together will create that solid sort of ecosystem for people to discover me in different ways, me or you. It's a way for people to find you. That's the important thing, right? It's being found.
Yes, it is. And I know a couple of people that have Pinterest from pretty much the beginning and are still getting sales from pins that they created years and years ago, and they're still getting traffic from that. Yeah. And it's a long game, but it really does work. And sometimes the longer game strategies are the ones that you see more return from and will bring in passive people. It's passive, it's there, it's working for you, driving traffic for you, and you didn't have to create much to do it. So another great strategy is creating shareable content. So shareable content is exactly what it sounds like. Content that others want to share with their followers. It could be inspirational quotes, success stories, behind the scenes sneak peeks, or helpful tips. The more your audience feels like they can connect with your content, the more likely they are to share it or save it. The kind of content can go viral or gain a ton of engagement. So have you had any content go viral or get shared more than you expected, Delores?
Yeah, I'm not sure about viral, but definitely I've had a lot of pins that were shared way more than I expected. It's funny because the content that often takes off is really simple and personal. Mm-hmm. Years ago, I shared a quick tip about organizing digital files, and it resonated with so many people. It got shared everywhere on Pinterest. I have some pins that have been looked at hundreds of thousands of times, like crazy, because I was one of those early adopters of the platform. I was pinning for hours at times. I have lots of great boards, and I refer to them in all my classes all the time too. So that drives people to my Pinterest site. And I think that if your content is clear and helpful and helps people solve a problem that they didn't even know they had, maybe, I think all of that works together, and it's bound to get shared. My top pin is on how to make perfect stripes in Procreate. So that, and it's had 183,000 like
Wow.
views. I mean, that's crazy. 183,000.
That's awesome. So it just shows the magic of using like sites like Pinterest, because it's basically a search engine. It's like Google, just visual, and it's like I still go for Pinterest all the time. Like I kind of stay off it for personal use, because otherwise I'd be on it all the time. Because I used to be on it all the time when it first came out.
Me too.
I think I have like 2 different personal accounts as well. Okay, so to wrap things up, we've covered a lot of great strategies today, and I want to remind you that the most effective marketing often doesn't require a huge budget. What would you say is the most important thing to remember when it comes to marketing on a budget, Delores?
Well, those 2 things that we talked about, definitely the consistency, and I think the creativity. I mean, I always tie that in. Consistency is what will help build the trust and the relationships. It's whether it's showing up on social media or regularly emailing your list or keeping up with a blog or podcast, all of that helps. Just be consistent with it. And creativity is what keeps things fresh. So how you present your work, the stories that you tell, and even how you talk about your journey. If you combine those 2 things, even with a very small budget, it's surprising. You can make huge strides in building your audience. I've been doing this for over 40 years, Kaylie, and I've seen firsthand how staying true to your craft while connecting consistently attracts the right people. And, you know, I didn't have social media back then, so I know what a difference it can make, because I know what it was like before that.
Yeah, absolutely. The key is to start small, stay consistent, and be authentic. Pick a few strategies that resonate with you, and make sure you're implementing them regularly. Marketing doesn't have to be stressful. It can actually be fun.
And please be sure to share this episode with someone who might find these tips helpful. We'd love for you to follow the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes.
Yeah. In one of our upcoming episodes, we have a special guest, Sandy Cruz, a hobby artist and graphic designer, coming on as a special guest. We haven't quite put a date in yet, because she's having some moving and doing a launch. So we have to push that back a bit. But we will get a episode with her on soon. She's built a successful business selling digital planners, and she'll be sharing her journey and insights with us. You won't want to miss it.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. She's been such a great member of my community, and she always shows up. She shows up for everything. So please, when you see that episode is coming up, make sure you watch it. And
yes.
Thanks again so much for listening. And I guess we'll catch up in the next episode.
Yeah, until then, keep creating, keep juggling, and most importantly, keep finding joy in the process.